Okay, so we were talking about how Rafti gave an example, and we're gonna start off with the example that she gave us.
The broken leg one?
Yes.
Okay. So I just watched something a couple days ago, and um, his son had broke his leg, and the people came up to him and was like, "Oh, that's terrible." And the dad reacted by saying, "Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe it is," right? Very neutral about it. And then his son was going to be drafted for a war, but because of his broken leg, he didn't, right? And people was like, "Oh my gosh, that's great," and he was like, "Maybe it is, maybe it isn't." Like he was just very neutral about the situation. He didn't see anything as good or bad. He kind of just let it unfold and play out, and yeah.
And so, the moral of the story is that God has a bigger plan. And so sometimes we don't understand it at the moment, and we can be like, "Oh, why did this happen? Why did this happen?" But in reality, there's a bigger plan being played out, and God has a reason for everything. And so God protected him from going to war.
Mm-hmm.
God protected the boy from going to war because he was about to be drafted, which they didn't know at the time. But they, because his leg was broke, he couldn't go to war, and so it protected him from going to war. So God has a reason for everything, and so that being said, to remember to keep that in mind. So, my example is like my example, because we were also talking about this too, when someone doesn't want to sign something, you can't force them to sign. You know what I mean? They have
a right to say.
Yes, they have a right to say no. And so, that being said, I gave an example. When I went to court, they were trying to get me to sign paperwork. But I didn't agree to this paperwork. I didn't agree, and they kept wanting me to sign it. And so they got to the level where they put handcuffs on me, basically arresting me, and they didn't read me my rights or anything. And I said, well, what am I being arrested for? And they couldn't tell me. And I said, well, I'm not signing this paper. I'm not signing this paper. I don't agree with what y'all are saying on here, and I'm not signing it. And if I do sign it, I'm going to put I do not agree as my signature. And so no one can force you to do anything that you don't want to do. No one. And as you can see, they can threaten you. They can try to put different things on you. Like they put handcuffs on me. They tried to arrest me. Scaring me into signing it. And I told them I'm not signing it. And so what did they have to do? I mean, they couldn't hold me for anything. What? For not signing paperwork that I don't want to sign? And so they let me go. I mean, of course, that is still, there, but I don't agree to it. And so if I didn't do the crime, I shouldn't have to pay or do the time. And so I refuse to sign that paperwork. And so no one can force anything on you that you if you don't feel like it's right, don't do it.
Also, I feel like as human beings, we're so hell-bent on getting our way. Like, I think I'm that type. Sometimes I'm that type of person. Something I'm still working on is like if it doesn't go my way, then I kind of get mad about it or irritated about it. But it's like I know that God has. If it doesn't go my way, then the universe has a better way.
Yes.
To take me down, right? And I'm learning that now, so that way I can remain calm. I don't have to get angry, or I don't have to get upset, because I know that if it doesn't go the way I envision it or something, that the universe has a better way.
Yes.
And and that's just something that I'll have to sit with. But I know that He has a better way for me, and that kind of just is a piece of peace. How do I say it? Mind of peace.
A peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you a peace of mind knowing that God has something better in store for you. And so it does give you a peace of mind. Also, going back to that story about how they arrested me because I wouldn't sign papers. I remember this lady, and I'm bringing this up because it shows how they have programmed us to be afraid. Not us per se, but let's just say people. They have programmed people to be afraid, and so they kind of throw threatening things out there, saying, well, if you don't sign, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And so they kind of program people to do what it is that they want, right?
Pushing their agenda.
I remember this lady saying, while I was screaming, I was screaming out loud, there is, the truth doesn't set you free here, like, right? And so the lady said, this lady that was sitting down, she was in court too. She was sitting down. She said, you know what, ma'am, just sign the paperwork and all this would be over with. And I said, no, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to. If I didn't do it and I don't agree to this, I shouldn't have to sign anything. And so it also shows how they have programmed people into fear to sign things that, or to do things that they want, by putting fear into them. And I say this, if someone puts fear into you, it is not for you. That place is not there to help you. It is there to bring you down, and it's there to keep you down. It is not there to help you. And so something like that you don't need in your life and don't need in this community and everything else. So that being said, we would like to continue to unite, stand up for our rights, and for justice. Sorry. Stand up for our rights and for justice. And so letting each other know that we are all here, helping each other get through this, and that we love each other, and that we will overcome. We will overcome. Love you all. I wanted to include something also, for all those that are dealing with similar situations. Let's just use examples. It could be court, it could be child support, it could be anything. If you do not agree to what is being said, or what is written within that paperwork, because it's always best to read something that before you sign it. And if you don't understand what is being said, do not sign it. Do not sign it. Key point: if you don't understand, then there's do not sign. Do not sign. And also, if you don't agree to what is being said or written in that paperwork, it's very important that you don't sign those papers. And I can also use another example. When it came to child support, there was they had a person sign some paperwork that that he didn't read what was being said on that paperwork. And so so he had so what they wanted was like, let's just say, I'm gonna use this as an example, like they wanted $5,000 before the next court date, right? And so of course he said, well, he could try to, to get that amount, but there was no promises. But then they still had him sign the paper. And so what he didn't realize, because he didn't read the paperwork, was that if he didn't come up with that money by the time court came, then he would be arrested for, I want to say they said about 90 days. But see, realize you can't come up with the money if you're in jail. And so if you don't agree with something that is being said or something that is written in the contract, do not sign. That's my encouragement. Always read what you're signing. Never sign anything without reading it. And if you don't understand it, don't sign it. Make sure you comprehend it and understand it clearly before signing anything. We love you all, and we hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this can benefit you all, because I've learned a whole lot throughout my journey, and so this is one of the things that I've learned. So we love you all, and we hope you all have a blessed day.